My friends, you're in for a treat because we've got Cash, the young man I've been giving lessons to, singing and playing this morning. I've got some more to tell you about, and we'll get to it all right after this. Hello, my friends. Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Workshop. Today is Thursday, March 9th, and while I'm thinking about it, since it's Thursday, be sure to put your questions, comments, and or topics in today's video, and I'll cover those tomorrow morning in the shop talk. Be sure to put question marks in front of it so I don't miss it. I do read all the comments in these Thursday videos, but just in case, if you put some question marks in front of it, then I'll know for sure you intended it to be in the shop talk. Well, as I mentioned, Cash, the young man that I've been giving lessons to, and those lessons have primarily consisted on timing and like when to start singing and, keeping the timing without breaking it when you're switching chords and things like that. And I think you'll see that he does a really wonderful job. So here's a clip of Cash singing Fallen Leaves. Hello, my friends. I've got my good buddy Cash here, and Cash is learning to play his guitar, and he's doing really well. He's going to sing a couple of lines of a song for you, and it's called Fallen Leaves.
Fallen leaves that lie scattered on the ground, the birds and flowers that were here cannot be found. All the friends he ever had are not around. They're all scattered like the leaves upon the ground. Let my eyes see every need of every man, and make me stop and always lend a helping hand. So when they lay beneath that little grassy mound, there'll be more friends around than leaves upon the ground.
Very good job, Cash. That's so big of an improvement. It's just wonderful how good you're doing. So thanks for practicing all that stuff. Well, I know you enjoyed that. Be sure to put your comments in there to encourage Cash to keep practicing because he's doing a really good job. Well, yesterday afternoon, I put everything on hold on my business. In other words, there's orders waiting to get out. I'm way behind. I'm sorry about that, but there's only one of me and there's a lot of work to do around here. And I spent all afternoon cleaning up the tree mess. Got 98% of it cleaned up with the help of my wife. I don't think she was real happy with me because I didn't get it all done, but I tried, and like I said, I had to put everything else on hold. Hopefully I get that cleaned up by the weekend to finish up everything else. Tomorrow evening we have a jam session at the Senior Center in St. James, Missouri, so I'll be there and Cash will be joining me there, and we'll be doing some more practice playing as you saw in today's video. The following morning, Saturday morning, my band will be playing a pancake breakfast for the Kiwanis Club in St. James also, and that'll be at the St. James Middle School. So if you're available early in the morning and would like to hear us, we'll probably play first because I usually get there and set up the sound system, and so we'll probably be playing by 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. So if you would like to hear us, you'll need to get there fairly early. Hope you can make it. It's a fundraiser for the Kiwanis, and they do a lot of good work in the community. I mentioned the next project is this violin. I talked to the customer yesterday. This violin is pretty old. He said he had it appraised and looked at by someone who, is supposedly an authority on these things in the Kansas City area. That fella didn't think the label was correct, but did think it was old, like late 1700s or early 1800s. He felt like it was German or something like that. I don't get that impression by looking at this. I know it's pretty old. That's why I said I doubt it is the 19 1823 copy type thing. It is pretty old. I can tell by the body, but I can also tell, and I'm fairly positive, the neck has been replaced in this because it does not have a grafted neck, and a violin that old should have a grafted neck. And if you don't know what a grafted neck is, what they did was they replaced this section of the neck with a longer neck, longer shank, and they kept the original peg box and they grafted it onto the new neck. So any violin made roughly before 1850 generally has a grafted neck. That's not 100% true, but generally. So this neck, I'm pretty sure, has been replaced, fairly positive of that, but it does not have a grafted neck. So that's another reason why, you know, it's throwing me off on the age. But I can tell pretty much by this back and the sides that it's pretty old. So I really don't know if this label in there is correct or not, or the other fellow is more correct. I just don't know. I just know it's pretty darn old. So we'll be taking good care of that and getting that set up. That's basically what he wants. He just wants a full setup. For those of you keeping score, we've got 2 more instruments on the shelf before I take my break. One of them is a banjo, and I can't really tell what the other one is from here. It almost looks like it's another violin or something. I'm not really sure what it is. I can't tell by the case. It's kind of an odd looking case from this angle. So we got 2 more to go, and then I'll be taking my hiatus to work on farm projects around here. One of those projects will be taking all of those walnut logs and sawing them into lumber, and let me tell you, there's a lot of walnut logs come out of those 3 big walnut trees. I mean, the one walnut tree was pretty darn big, as you saw the guy climbing it. It was pretty darn big. So I got, I don't know, maybe 3 to 4 logs out of that tree. And then the other 2 trees weren't that big. They were probably half that big. And I got like 2 logs a piece out of those. So I've got a lot of logs to saw up. Plus I got a couple logs out of that big elm. And there will be some logs out of the big oak that's up on the hill that I haven't even thought about getting to yet. That big oak tree was up on the upper hillside and was, you know, facing the end of the building or end of the house, and it could have fallen down the hill on top of the house. So I had him take that down and just drop it the opposite direction, and that gives me good peace of mind because it was a huge oak tree. So I may get to that also, but I'm not even sure I can get that to fit on my sawmill. It's a huge oak tree. So we'll just have to wait and see how all that turns out down the road. Well, that's going to be it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to put those questions, comments, and or topics in today's video, and we will see you tomorrow morning bright and early for Shop Talk 8 a.m. We'll see you then.